Etosha, the green season. Is it worth it? Hi, we're Chrissy and Gary, and in February 2025 we visited the Etosha National Park in Namibia. An overnight flight to Windhoek via Frankfurt, and we were picked up by Brits, who were renting us a camper van for the week we were in the country. The advantage of the off-season, the green season, is that we were the only people picking up a camper van that day. An efficient and thorough debrief of the vehicle, and we were on our way. This is our Toyota Navi, which was perfect for the trip. The journey from the airport to the Golden Gate takes around 6.5 hours, but we split it halfway at the Okaukuejo Nature Reserve, which will be the subject of another video. The roads were quiet and in excellent condition. We filled up at the final filling station at Kamanjab, which is 45 minutes short of the Golden Gate. This turned out to be a smart move, as there was no diesel available at any camp inside the park.
Welcome to Etosha.
On reaching Golden Gate, we were reminded that this is the wet season. Golden Gate! A very quiet drive through the western part of the park brought us to the Olifantris camp. The green season is not the time to visit this camp, and we were advised that there was very little visiting the waterhole. Indeed, all we saw were these sparring springboks. We had planned 2 nights at Olifantris, but we decided to cut our losses and continue further east. The following morning, we were instantly rewarded. A bat-eared fox family, a rarity for us as we normally do our safaris in Kruger, and it was lovely to see a family on the move in great light. And then a Corey's bustard strutting his stuff in full display mode. It was pretty quiet for sightings after that, all the way to Okaukuejo, where we found ourselves a spot in the dusty campsite and sorted out some brunch. That afternoon, we decided to do a loop via Aus back to Okaukuejo for the night. This being the green season, there were plenty of black-faced impala babies around. We had not seen black-faced impala before, and we felt that war paint really suited them. And then, another of our target species, a black rhino. Hard to video through the thickets, but then he made it to the road. This demonstrates why the waterholes were so quiet. At this time of year, there's water everywhere for the animals to drink. The evening session at the Okaukuejo waterhole was once again very quiet, with just a lone oryx and these rutting impala. The abundance of water had certainly led the animals to disperse, so the following day we decided to continue east to Halali. It was another frustrating morning of empty waterholes and scattered animals. We arrived at Halali, found a suitable camp spot, and made the most of the facilities. We set off for an afternoon drive, and it looked as though we were going to have to dodge some quite serious showers. It's always nice to spend time with giraffe and tussling zebras. Another resplendent Cory's bustard in full display mode, this time with a potential partner to impress. Despite all the effort, she walked off, seemingly unimpressed. Maybe he should have tried with Chrissy.
That is pretty cool.
Despite some nice sightings, Etosha so far was not what we had hoped for in the green season. But several people we met who had come from the east said go to Namutoni. There's an abundance of animals there, including elephants. So we changed our plans again, and the following morning headed further east. A nice sighting of a pair of hyena in good morning light, and then we reached beautiful grass, covered in yellow devil-form flowers. This is one of the joys of the green season. From this point on, we were treated to carpets of yellow. It was when we passed the Okaukuejo waterhole that we entered the Namutoni oasis. These oryx were obviously looking at something, but it wasn't until they moved off that we saw what. These guys had been completely invisible, and in the midday heat they obviously weren't going to do very much, but we settled down for an extended sighting with them. Then around the corner we spooked this guy. All the rhino we saw around Namutoni had been dehorned. Obviously poaching is more of an issue in this area. After that excitement, we arrived at Namutoni camp. It was quiet, clean, green. We thought this was by a long way the best camp in the park, and we found ourselves a shady spot in the almost empty campsite. We were advised that there were a lot of elephants on the road up to the Stinkwater waterhole, so off we went, and we weren't disappointed. And as if that wasn't exciting enough, one of those hold your breath moments, and something we've missed not having elephants up until now. Stinkwater also provided these guys, having a bit of a play fight. Ooh, I bet that hurt. We left these guys and headed off to Klein Namutoni for our next waterhole. Just some general game around, but this zebra looked like he'd had a really lucky escape. Finally, we decided to visit the Dik Dik Loop, where we found some Damara Dik Dik. How cute are they? While we were watching these, we got a tip-off that there was a lion quite close to the Namutoni gate, on a kill. Much to our surprise, when we got there, there were no other cars. And then somebody told us there was a cheetah around the corner. Tricky to find again. No other cars. What a great day. Namutoni was chock full of animals, and we had most of them to ourselves. Everything that we had hoped Etosha would be. The following day we decided to take the drive up to Onkoshi, and then try our luck on the Fischer loop to the east. It wasn't long before we caught up with some more elephants. Indeed, if you want to see these creatures at this time of year, the Namutoni region is your best bet. perhaps surprisingly, the only male kudu we saw on the trip. We were told that the Fischer loop was quiet, but we were about to have our best elephant sighting at the Arrow waterhole. We counted 70 elephants, they just kept coming. And when you find these guys at a waterhole, you've just got to turn the engine off and watch. Time just seemed to go past so quickly. There was so much to see. The splashing, the playing, the interaction. And we got to see the grey ghost that we've been really hoping to find during our time at the Etosha Pan. The herd finally headed off into the bush, and then we got a tip-off of some lions at Klein Okaukuejo. This guy had been at the waterhole for a while, and he obviously wasn't doing much, but he wasn't completely flat. He was handsome, but you could tell he knew it. We settled down for some extended yawning, licking, and general washing. Eventually, our patience was rewarded, and he got up and joined his slightly less handsome brother. Alas, they decided not to visit the waterhole for a drink, so it was time to get back to camp.
The local moths here go crazy for beer, so if you are having something, try and put something on the top, otherwise They'll be guzzling it before you even get your lips around it. Bastards.
Following morning, we were out of the gate first thing and bumped straight into a male lion enjoying the morning sunshine. And then a black-backed jackal on his way home with breakfast. We opted to take the Fischer loop again, mainly because we'd been tipped off on the location of our hyena den, and we were pretty sure they'd be out first thing. And they were. It's always nice to spend time with the hyena family, watching the generations go about their business. And also to watch zebras dust bathing. The Fischer loop continued to deliver when Oryx once again gave away the location of a cheetah pair. Soon they disappeared to find another shady spot, but that didn't mean that the elephants weren't trying to sniff them out. It was appropriate that our final sighting was another herd of elephants, a species which had given us so much pleasure over the last few days. So it was time to leave Etosha after 5 great days. And to answer the question, in the green season, is it worth it? The answer for us was a resounding yes, but there are caveats. Don't expect those waterholes packed full of animals that you see on all the documentaries. That's for the dry season. But it was beautiful, it was quiet, and in the Namutoni area, we had sightings galore. If we went again, we'd probably spend all our time in this area. But it was time to leave Etosha via the Vondenquist Gate and head south. Okaukuejo was our destination, 3.5 hours south. We may not have seen any leopards so far, but that was all about to change. See you next time.